Welcome back to Trash Panda Off-Road. Today we're going to be doing a water pump on the purple X-90. Been driving this car around for the last couple of days. Noticed it starting to run low on water. So it's at gas station today and I noticed this. That's not great. Then when I got to looking in there, honestly, it looked like it was coming right out of the water, or the oil pan. Hopefully you guys could see that. It's hard to tell with the GoPro what you can and can't see, but it really looks like that water was coming right out of the oil pan. But I took an inspection mirror in there and got down in there, and it turns out it's coming from the bottom of the water pump. All we did so far, took the, I don't know what that is thing, that container thing, emissions container, vapor container, charcoal container, put it off to the side, took this radiator hose off, took the fan off. This car does not have a shroud already, so that was already out of there. Took the fan off. It's 10 little, or four little 10 millimeters. Getting ready. I'm going to pull this bolt here to let the alternator go. Pull this belt. Pull this off. Move the dipstick and pull that bolt. And then we'll probably get a better look at in there. I've never done one of these pumps, and there's a lot bigger and a lot more holes in it than I thought. You know, I'm used to, 3 or 4 holes. Like, this is crazy. So, as I lay this in there and get an eyeball on it, everything past that line is under here. So, as we go through this, we'll learn together what needs to be taken off. I'm probably going to end up having to pull the timing belt, so I got to make sure we got this thing where it's going to be timed correctly to get it back on. That's always a fear of mine, because I've had that happen before on different cars where I've done stuff and couldn't time it again. So we'll tackle that when we get there, I guess. I've mentioned this before, how much I hate that they did this. Anywhere they did Allen head bolts, and down there you can barely see, you might not even be able to see it, but the bolts around the crankshaft pulley are Allen heads. Get my mirror in there, see that? Hopefully you guys can see that. I may have already stripped one out. Not 100% sure. I think I don't need to pull the big center piece, the big center bolt. I think I just need to pull those, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts there. But unfortunately, they're Allen heads. I'm trying to avoid having to pull this radiator, because it's an automatic transmission, which means I have to unhook and lose all the transmission fluid, and it's just, oh, and then I got air conditioning lines going across it, so there's a radiator there for the air conditioner. This is, who the hell invented the way that they do these stupid pumps? Well, this experience has gone to hell rather quickly. I'm 90% sure I stripped out one of these stupid things. God, I hate Allen freaking head bolts like these. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I don't know why I have issues with them, but I hate them. And I'm pretty sure I stripped one out that holds down the main crank wheel here. So, oh geez Louise, this was going to be a pain in the butt job before this happened. Now that it's happened, we are going to remove the radiator, the air condition cooler, the front grille, maybe that light, so as that I have a clearer shot at seeing what I can do in there. I don't know if I have to see if it's stripped out. Maybe I can put a cut in it and use a big flathead screwdriver to give it a turn. I don't know. I just know that this is frustrating. So I'm going to stop for the day and go inside and have some dinner and tasty adult beverage. Was able to get that stripped one out of there. I just used one of these I don't know, strip bolt, broken bolt extractors. Stuck it right in there, slowly turned it by hand. Was able to get that out of there. So I'll have to go to the hardware store tomorrow and buy 5 or 6 of these with regular bolt heads on them. Took off the plastic, got in here. I'm not going to change the timing chain and the tensioners and all that stuff because that was all done less than a year ago when I had the keyway issue fixed. This car went to the mechanic to do the keyway issue because I didn't feel like doing it. So I just paid my mechanic to do it. I'm one of the lucky guys. I have a mechanic that I've been with or has been with me for like 20 years. So he takes care of stuff that I don't want to do. I just got to pay him for it. So now that I have everything off here, we will loosen this one up and then we should be able to take the water pump off, and then we're going to have to figure out the best way to get these 4 studs off to go into the new water pump. Got the pump off. See the seal there is kind of messed up. Can't really tell. It would have been weeping from right in here, which, oh, it looks like that's where the seal was kind of messed up. So we're going to scrape a little bit of sealant out of there and clean up the rest of the water that we can, and then we'll put the new one in. And I think on this, if I take and put some WD-40 on it, I probably should have done it while it's still in there, and then put 2 nuts here, I should be able to turn these and back them out and then take the 2 nuts off. That's my theory, and we'll spray it with some WD-40 first, and then we'll get back into the messing inside the truck. I've done with it. I didn't really explain what the whole 2 nut thing is. So basically, you got your bolt, and this probably won't work. Your bolt's sticking up through here. What you do is you thread on the first nut, then you thread on a second nut, then you crank them together, and then you can use the bottom nut to turn backwards, and it's already pinched up against that top nut, and that is what will back those out. It's way better than trying to grab them with like vice grips or whatever, something like that. So it's like, let's see. I mean, I think I explained it pretty well, that this nut goes on like this, and then the second nut goes on over the top of it like so, and then you use the bottom nut as your base nut to turn, and that will take the stud out. So hopefully that explains it. As you can see, I got the water pump staged back in again, the new one. We'll go ahead and start putting pieces back together, and then we'll basically just put it all back together. Kind of the opposite of how we took it apart. If you were doing timing gear or timing belt and tensioner, this would be that part too. You'd do this right here, put the tensioner back on, put the put a new tensioner on, along with the new spring and all that stuff and the new belt. But I had all that stuff done like a year ago, so I'm not going to mess with it. There it is. Water pump's back on, tensioner's back in. Got my marks on the timing line back up to where they should have been when I took it off. Now it's just a matter of putting the cover back on, putting the radiator back in, filling up the water and coolant, filling up the transmission fluid. So still got some steps to go to, but this is the basic of it. Got to put that canister back over there. If you guys are doing a water pump, you might as well get in there and do your timing belt and your tensioners and all that stuff as well. You can buy, I believe you can buy it all as one kit. Other than that, that's really about all for this week's episode. So hopefully this gives somebody an idea as to what they've got when they're getting water dripping out from the water pump. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this, or at least stuck through it. If you didn't enjoy it, hey, that's okay. 175-ish, more than that, other videos on the channel. Maybe there's one you will enjoy. Put your comments down below. Let me know if you hated it, if you loved it, if you'd like some other stuff. I don't usually take requests, but I do work on stuff as it breaks, which I got a lot of stuff to break that's broken. So follow along, Trash Panda Off-Road on the Instagram, and subscribe to the channel for more Geo Tracker, Suzuki Samurai, and X-90 content.